Razão a data é onde gá com he massi na reo quando Wekweètì na ts'eeda hot di wale go dun da gets in kegahi. E you go da ni he go dua hani hot a person. Rose Blackduck see yonde massi gá on. My name is Mary Rose Blackduck. We just want to share with you some of the information that we had gathered when we were in Wekweètì on the family project.
Masicho si Joni Tsachia Wekweètì di edzonate. Yeah, my name is Joni Tsachia. I'm from Wekweètì originally, living in Edzo.
Sara Komarnisky, My name is Sara Komarnisky, and we're here to talk about the Celebrating Families project, which is about understanding family life and how it's changed over time, family life and childhood, how it's changed over time in the Cleanchong region.
Wekweètì is one of the smallest Cleanchong community. It also still holds a lot of traditional, activities that happen within the community. For me, it was going back home to a place where I grew up, so I was really excited about that. I did grow up there, but I didn't know there was so much rich stories that Maro was able to pull out from the interviewees, like stories of people who were way before me, right? How they lived off on the land. So I was able to picture it while she was interviewing. It was like a conversation that you would see in an elder's home, where elders sit together and you're sharing information.
The interviews that we did with the people, I asked them about what their education was like when they were like 5 years old, or as early as they can remember. They remember working with their dad, helping their mom, helping their siblings. And they learn by short demonstrations. So they watch the older people work on survival every day, like Joni was saying, wood harvesting. If you don't have the skills to hold an axe properly, you can hurt yourself. Same thing with sawing woods. And then to harvest, you don't just go into the land. You have to go to certain places where they have good logs that were burned well. And then, of course, there's also logs that if you were to use it for cooking, it will give out certain delicious flavors. So you just don't go out and break branches. But these are the things that they learn by watching, growing up in that certain environment. Like you had the best teachers in the world that also spoke the language fluent. Not one, not two stories were the same. Everybody had their own history. Everybody had their own story to tell. That's why the stories were just really fulfilling. It was also very exciting to listen to. My expectations of getting all of the interviews done in the language was not anywhere near what we have received. All of it was in the language. It's also very important and necessary because I don't want to say this, but we're losing a lot of wisdom as we lose the elders. So we're losing a lot of our history, but we came at the right time and we were able to capture.
For the Cleanchong people is that we do have a rich history and it's always connected to the land. So we learned that the play and learning all involve land-based education. Whether it was traditionally made toys, the interviewee saying they observed their parents and learned from them. It was a consistency all the way. The well-being and community really depended on harvesting. And so when you look at all that, it always came back to how they were taught right? And why caribou was so important. We're going to be able to integrate it to the daycare systems and how we can create our playgrounds and toys and all that stuff. So it's really exciting as a director for early childhood, how we can integrate those stories.
This project is not just for Clean Soul Nation. At the beginning, I thought it was. Even though the interviews were done in Clean Soul, it can be written out and used. Like Joni was saying, they now have ideas for play school, for kindergarten age children, or even for preschool. They can open this up. And if there's a way that it can help children to be better people when they get older, then of course it's very beneficial.
Finally, we're able to take on projects on our own and do our own research as Indigenous people that we weren't able to do before.
We were lucky to receive some funding from ts'eeda to support our work. And this really made a big difference when we were in Wekweètì this year in October. One really important thing that funding supported was that we could do all of the interviews in xèhoòwı, in the Xèhoòwı language. So all of the elders and harvesters and older parents in the community, they were interviewed entirely in xèhoòwı. With that, I'd like to say masicho to the two of you. It's always good to get the team back together. And masicho ts'eeda for the funds. Anything you'd like to add?
ts'eeda ts'umbada kızadigahi masina his Rose Blackduck.
Masicho.